when did he go to military court? Oh, no one did. So who gave the malintelligence? Well, it's just the CIA. We can't really say who specifically. Just some agents over there. Oh, so that's it. Not even a slap on the wrist. Nothing. Interesting. So these guys are coming back realizing reality is not what it's supposed to be. It's not a video game. You don't get to push a button and start over again. You're dead. The guy next to you, you became friends with them. He's your pal. You sleep in the same dorm or whatever, these little military places, bases. And he's got a family. You show him your kids. He shows you his kids. And that's my little girl. That's my boy. Man, when I'm out of here in 6 months, I can't wait to go back. This is such bullshit over here. It's such a lie. What the hell are we doing here, man? I don't know. I can't wait to get out of here. And then he doesn't make it. And then he dies. And this guy over here lives. But he saw his friend die in the same Humvee he was in because of a roadside bomb. And all he's thinking of his kids, his daughter, his little boy. His little boy wasn't even old enough to even know that he has a dad. He was so young when he left. Now he's going back. His kid's 2 years old. The girl's 4 years old. Can't wait to see daddy. IED got him. Yeah. Casualty of war. Sorry. Right? That's what we're told when we talk about, well, so what about all these civilians? Well, everyone knows in war, civilians getting hit, it's always part of a casualty of war. And they say that with a straight face and, like you're an idiot for even mentioning that. Of course civilians are going to die. It's just, part of war. But when the troop dies, it's not the same. That's one of our guys. He was a troop. IED got him. They want us out of our country. Their country. Understandable. There were no weapons of mass destruction. So if you were told, well, first, before I get onto that rant, the guy over here saw his friend die, knows he has kids, wife, oh my God, imagine what his heart feels. I have kids. I don't want to die either. I hope I make it out. Now I'm terrified. He makes it. Done. I'm never going back to the military. I'm going home. He's not going on to Facebook. He's not going on to YouTube to say, hey, listen. Yeah, I was that guy, the badass out there, badass Marine. Couldn't wait to get my hand on the trigger and just mow people down, man. And, man, I was wrong. It was so wrong, and I was so wrong I can't even begin to tell you. He ain't going to do that. No, he's got too much pride, too much of an ego. He's a Marine. He's tough. But he's not so tough in his mind because his mind's telling him, I saw my friend die, I saw his kids die, or not his kids, I saw him die, his kids are going to be fatherless. I helped slaughter some of the people over there that caused that roadside bomb to go off. They probably got pissed off when we raided their little town. I was part of that. They just wanted revenge because of what we did to them. And I watched my friend die, and I can't take it because these thoughts are killing me, and he blows his head off. Now his kids are fatherless. So, I mean, if you add up the troops killing themselves before they get turned into civilians when they come back, plus the civilians that were weeks or months ago in the military who are now civilians and then they kill themselves, if you add up all that, which you should, you will have realized we have killed, or we have our own people dying from self-inflicted wounds to themselves more than the enemies, alleged enemies, in the Middle East have killed our own troops over there. They're coming back home and committing suicide more than they're dying on the battlefield. What the hell does that tell you? War is a racket. It always has been. It always will be, like Smedley Butler has said. It's just unbelievable. I don't even know how I got onto this rant based off of a Silver video, but it's been a few days since I made a video. I'm just thinking about a lot of stuff. North Korea is still telling South, don't look. If you want to do exercises, go ahead. But for God's sake, don't do it on the contested area that we're always fighting about. Seriously, and is that a valid, complaint? Don't do live fire exercises on the border where we're like face to face, basically. Because if you decide to attack us, it would be a quick little thing, and we wouldn't be able to respond to it because it'd be so fast. You're right there, right? So let's have an agreement, both sides, North Korea and South Korea. We won't be doing live fire drills within some mile range or whatever of this contested area. We could do it elsewhere. You could do it elsewhere. We could do it elsewhere. But let's not do it right in the middle, because obviously we're going to be on edge if one person is doing it. And is this really are they telling the world it's a live exercise, but really they're going to attack us? We would never be able to stop that if we just sit here and do nothing. So now we have to build up our army while they do the exercise and be on standby. And now they're going to say, oh, we're doing an exercise. Why are they getting all rowdy? Right? And you can see how this escalates. North Korea doesn't have a bad complaint to say get the hell away from that area if you want to do exercises. However, North Korea is pretty crazy. The guy, Kim Jong-il, is ill. Perfect last name, because he does have some problems. It doesn't necessarily mean anything because they haven't attacked anybody since whatever. They've had the conflict since 1953. They haven't attacked anybody since then, really. I mean, what's happened? It's just those two guys. You know, two sides. So, of course, we're over there provoking. We want to provoke, believe me. We need a war. And regardless of what happens in North Korea, as Lindsey Williams said, the Iranian war is on, and it will happen within 5 or 6 to 8 months? He said something was 5 months and something else was 6 to 8 months. I think gas and oil is going to be $4 and $5 a gallon between 6 and 8 months, and the war with Iran was like 4 or 5 months or something like that. And that's the big one. That's World War III. We're not talking WMDs to just fakely go over there and, you know, get our 3 big oil companies oil contracts, which is exactly what happened, by the way. And this is not about that. This is about killing off a massive part of the population because there are no jobs. They can't create jobs. They understand they can't create jobs, but they don't want you to know that they can't create jobs. They have to get rid of these unemployed. So if you're unemployed and there's a draft, trust me, that draft isn't going to be for guys like me who still have a job right now, or God forbid, I hope I have a job when this happens, and people who have a job. It's going to be the ones who need a job. Hey, you guys are on unemployment. You know, just saying. And the age has now changed from 18 to 24 or whatever to 18 to 42. Really? When did that happen? Oh, that was snuck into healthcare. You didn't know that? Nah. No, I didn't know that. You didn't read healthcare bill? Oh, it's 2,000 pages. 2,000 pages. Who wrote it, right? Just the congressman. 2,000 pages. Of course I didn't read it. What? You have to read it. Could you imagine getting a contract? Oh, it's too many pages. I don't want to read it. Just where do I sign? I want to get that new car. Just tell me where I sign. 20% interest. Hey, I got excellent credit. It's supposed to be 6. Yeah, but didn't you read the contract? No. Why not? You signed it. I know, but it was 20 pages. You know, as if that's a reason. There's too many pages. Well, then whoever wrote the piece of crap, have them rewrite it so it's less pages. Do you really need a healthcare bill that's 2,000 pages? No. And the federal government has stopped giving raises for how many millions of people, federal workers. That's going to cause a massive problem for these guys. And now they're doing the tax nonsense. They're trying to get that passed, and tax breaks for everyone. We're just going to extend it. They can't pass a budget, so they're going to, I'm just hearing about that tonight, they're going to try to give us, you know, just a temporary, basically keep spending where it's at right now, leave it the way it is, okay, for, you know, X amount of months, temporary, in other words. So in other words, we had, you know, $9 trillion when Obama took office, or towards George Bush's end of his career, which instantly jumped to $11 trillion. Within months, it turned into 12-point-something trillion. Within 30 days after that, it turned into $14 trillion when they had these sessions in Congress. Up it, up it, up it, up it. And now I'm hearing today they're going to have to up it again soon. If you don't have silver, you better get some. I don't care where you get it from. But as I always say in my videos, if you're not sure, you want to ask me a question, well, what about this place? What do I recommend? It all depends on how much you want to buy at that particular time in one bulk sum. It also depends on where you live for me to tell you basically where I think you should get it from. So either way, it doesn't matter. Of course, I don't mind. I don't care how many you get or where you get it from, but just get some. If you want to ask me, send me a message in YouTube, and I'll tell you, basically if you say I'm interested in silver, where do you recommend? Also include I want to buy X amount of silver. In other words, I want 20 ounces, 50 ounces. I'm ready to buy 100 ounces, whatever. Let me know in the message, and I'll tell you basically based off of where you are. I'll check my sites that I always check, and go from there. Usually, when it's 100 ounces or more, I usually use Monex, but sometimes there's specials. Like at APMEX had a special recently too. It was actually better to go to APMEX than Monex for 100 ounces of Eagles fairly recently, which, so anyway, I'm keeping up with this stuff. If you have any questions, just send me a message. And that's all I want to talk to you about tonight, so I will talk to you all later.